Among Us has become incredibly popular over the pandemic. It was a good way for people to have fun together despite being under lockdown. And apart from the multiplayer aspect, all the mystery involved in the game is great, as is the excitement and confusions that arise every time a dead body is found, and players debate who the killer might be. All of these dynamics and mechanics, it's a formula for success, especially in a multiplayer game like this. And in today's video, we'll take a look on a few different games that are very similar to Among Us. And I can say for certain that if you have already enjoyed Among Us, you'll definitely enjoy all of the games I'm about to present. The first game on our list is Town of Salem. This is a game based on deduction, manipulation and strategy, in which players are divided into 3 different factions, namely Town, Mafia and Neutral. The Town of Neutral factions consist of the large uniformed majority, who know only their role and nobody else. Now players from the Town faction aren't aware of the members who are in their faction either, and these players must try to deduce which players are from the Mafia faction and lynch them accordingly, in order to save the town from being captured. The Mafia, on the other hand, is the informed minority, who knows the members of their faction and must manipulate the Town faction and the Neutral faction to lynch the wrong people so that players from the Mafia faction outnumber everyone else at the end of the game and take over the town. And all of this makes for a very exciting and fun game to play with, especially with all the surprises at every turn. Hide Online Hunter vs Prop is a great game that blends together action and strategy, and makes for experience that fans of Among Us would love. Here, you are divided into hunters and props, with the props trying their best not to be found, while the hunters try their hardest to figure out where the props are. And this game takes place in various settings, such as inside a cafe shop or in an office, and within such settings, the props must try to blend into the surroundings as much as possible to not be found by the hunters. And the hunters, of course, must try to find wherever the props are hidden in any given setting, and they can do so by shooting at the object they find to be suspicious or out of place. Subliminal horror, it's an undeniable part of Among Us. And while the game as a whole, it's very lighthearted and fun, situations where you are alone in an isolated area of the map with another player who seems to be following you get your heart racing and leaves you with a sense of anxiety. Granny House, released by Supercat, takes this sense of dread and puts it in a whole nother level. The interesting part is that it is actually an online game of tag, but is simply put in a horror setting, where you and your friends play the part of these kidnapped children and must escape Granny's house as fast as you can. But if you are caught by Granny, however, you must take her side and hunt down all who remain and are trying to escape. The graphics and sound design is amazing, and the game allows you to play with up to 8 friends. If you are looking for a game that closely resembles Among Us with only minor changes, then Betrayal is the game for you. Mirroring the settings of a spaceship in which the crewmates have an imposter among them, Betrayal also adds some interesting twists, while the crewmates try their best to finish their tasks and not get killed or ejected from the game, and Betrayers try their hardest to kill crewmates and disrupt their tasks. Roles such as jesters and sheriffs spice up the gameplay and add another aspect to the game. Not only that, but Betrayals.io also add an additional game mode known as Hide and Seek mode, in which crewmates are not only hunted by betrayers, but also by a monster that is roaming the aisles of the spaceship. The game here is simple and easy to learn, especially if you already played Among Us before. Instead of taking place on a spaceship, suspects take place on an old mansion. The game requires at least 4 people to play at once and can have up to 10 people in a match. The role assigned to each player in the game are one of those 3, whose main objective is to finish off the various tasks assigned to them, or an inspector, who must use their deduction skills as well as other features given to them by the game, such as the scanning feature to figure out who's the assassin and convince everyone to vote him out. And as you guessed, the assassin is the final role in the game. Their job is to take out as many guests as possible, as stealthy as possible, before getting caught and voted out. This game takes function in the formal rounds, and after every round there are voting section, which is aided by the game's native voice chat feature, and someone is kicked out by the group decision. Triple Agent by TaskRock, it's a board game for your phone that is excellent for parties that has the potential to get boring. This game can be played between 4 to 9 players, and the game sees you being part of either the agency, the good guys, or the virus, the bad ones. Here, the task is very simple. As the device is passed around, the different players get to know their roles and they try to play the rest of the game in order to make sure the team wins. The game also introduced some curveballs in terms of role reversals or changes in objectives. In this way, Triple Agent breaks away from the monotony and keeps the game from being boring. These are the top games that resemble Among Us that you can start playing today on your computer big screen with your keyboard and mouse. And not only that, BlueStacks will also give access to a ton of awesome features that can improve your gameplay experience and streamline your multiplayer experience. So if you are interested on any of those games, BlueStacks is definitely the way to go. But anyway, that's it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching, and bye bye.